Hi everybody! Today I just want to show you real quick how I made this card. I shared this for the Stampin' Fun Friday last Friday, and I used the new American Crafts stamp markers, and I'm just going to take this scrap piece of ledger paper for making memories, and here is the owl stamp I used. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take some of the American Crafts stamp markers, and here I'm going to use, this is the color called Wave. I'm also going to be using the green color called Leaf, the red, which is the Rouge, and the yellow, the mustard yellow, and also the brown color, which is called Chestnut. A lot of them are the same or similar to their embossing powder colors. And it has two tips that I was showing you there, a brush tip and a medium tip. And you can use either one. I kind of prefer the brush tip, but if you're going to work somewhere where it's a little bit more a smaller area and you need to be more detailed, the medium tip would work probably a little bit better than that. But here I'm just using the brush tip, and I'm going to start coloring in the design on the stamp. And I'm just coloring different areas using different colors of markers. It just depends. Can't decide here what I want to do, but just going to go ahead and fill in the little areas. And you can kind of blend. I like to a lot of times take a lighter color first, like on these flowers. I'm going to do part of the flower here in yellow, and I'm not being really neat about it because I'll go back over the design with a darker color of marker and it'll give it more definition. So I usually try to start with a lighter color and then go to a darker color when I'm going to do things like that. So I'm just going to keep filling in the stamp. I zoomed in a little bit so maybe you can see a little better the detail. And I don't really worry about them drying out or anything because you will huff on the stamp or breathe on it to re-moisten the ink before you stamp it. So here you can see I'm going back over the center of that flower with a green, the leaf green color, and that kind of gives that more definition to where I added the yellow. And here I'll add the red. I'm just going to go around the outside of the flowers then with that color. Just going to keep adding color to my stamp until I have the whole thing colored in. I'm going to add just a little bit of red to a little bit of my owl to tie in with the rest of my stamp design there. And this is such a cute stamp, but I've used it before and I just haven't really liked the results because it's been, you know, one color, or I've had to cut things out and layer it. So this is a really neat option. Okay, I'm not going to share huffing on it because that's not really the most attractive, but I just breathed on it to re-moisten it. And here is what it looks like when it's stamped. I probably wouldn't stamp right over that red line at the top of the paper, but I was just using a scrap piece of paper to show you. So here is another card using the same technique, and this is a butterfly stamp from Hero Arts. I think it's a little bit older stamp, so I don't know if it's still available or not. I think there's another one similar, and I'll link that on the supply list on my blog. So you can see I'm just going to take some different colors of markers, and here I'm going to use the grape, and I'm also going to use some taffy, the mustard again, and also the aqua, and then a little bit of the chestnut brown for the butterfly antenna. But I'm just going to use the brush tip of all these markers and color in the stamp really good. You can see it's still really pretty moist. With a small design like this, it doesn't give the ink much time to dry out. Then I'll breathe on it and stamp it on my project. And you can see how great that the results are. This is all flat stamping. I used the Cloud Design background stamp from Hero Arts to stamp on my white card. And then I stamped the butterfly 3 times. And I just repeated that, just changing up the colors on the butterfly wings. You can also do this for greetings or any word stamps, things like that. Here I just stamped it on my Stamp-A-Majig clear plastic sheet so I could get the placement correct for my card. And then I colored in the different words and elements there on my greeting with different colors of markers. And it really adds a fun look to your greetings instead of stamping them maybe traditionally with just one color or something like that. So here I'm just matching it to my butterflies. I'm just going to fill in the rest of my stamp there. Have a couple more colors to add. And that brush tip makes it so quick and easy. And even those little dots there after my greeting, you can add a different color to those. Then I'll just move that out of the way, breathe on it, and stamp it right down. And you can see it's perfect stamping every time. I really love these stamps. I believe the stamp sets I'm using are the earth tones, the tropical colors, and the primaries. Okay, the last little thing I'm going to show you doesn't really have anything to do with the stamp markers, but I just had this cute little dotted line stamp from an October Afternoon set, I believe. And I'm going to show you, it's really flexible, so I'm just taking a large block and kind of moving it around so it works for my card design. Just going to ink up little pieces of it with some brown ink. I believe this is the soft suede ink from Stampin' Up. And then I can add just the little, trails for those butterflies. I don't really particularly care for my drawing skills all that well, so it's fun to use these instead. Thanks for watching.